Estelle always counted the days until Christmas. Sure, she didn't look forward to the cold breeze, but the warmth brought by the embrace of her aunts and uncles, along with the gifts they gave and the food they cooked, always made up for it. But she stopped counting weeks ago, for she was told that this year's Christmas won't be how it used to. "We're in a pandemic, my dear," explained her mother. At 10 years of age, Estelle didn't know what it meant. But since summer started, she has not been allowed to see her friends or even play outside. She also attended school through the computer and watched her favorite movies on the phone. While out her window, people walking past had their faces covered. Looking at all the twinkling decorations hanging on the tree, Estelle sighed. It will be a sad Christmas, and she sulked on the couch, turning the television on to watch some cartoons. From the dining table, Estelle's parents heard her moping, and they wondered if they can make her understand what the joy of Christmas is really about.
Estelle woke up to a warm caress on her cold face. The show she was watching has already ended. Apparently, she fell asleep and left the TV on. "Do you want to play a game, Estelle?" asked her dad. Estelle leapt up upon hearing this, as it has been boring playing with the same old toys, and she beamed with excitement. "What game is it, Papa?" she probed, tugging at her dad's sleeves to get a response. "It's a Christmas game, dear. We shall call it Where is Christ?" Her mother answered her this time, and both parents pointed Estelle to the small Belen they have set up right beside the Christmas tree. There she saw the angel hanging loosely atop the wooden hut, and the animals sitting idly upon the straw, while Mother Mary and Saint Joseph looked lovingly upon the crib, where Jesus is nowhere to be found. In place of baby Jesus, there was a piece of paper, which Estelle took. Reading loudly, she pronounced, "I am where there's joy and fun." Estelle's parents smiled at her as she contemplated on the riddle with a puzzled face. "Find Jesus and you can ask for any gift you want," they said. With a determined face, Estelle darted across the room to begin her search.
"I am for this joy and fun," said the riddle. "This will be easy," Estelle thought, as she opened the door to the playroom where all her toys were kept. She was playing there this morning, so toys, big and small, were scattered all over the floor. She recalled her parents always telling her to arrange things after using them. Maybe it's time to clean up, as he searches for the baby Jesus of the Belen. When all the toys were in their bins, and all the dolls were in the shelves, Estelle then took one sweeping glance across the room. Baby Jesus was still nowhere in sight, and it dawned on her that she hasn't played with a good number of her toys. Maybe other kids with no one to play with would be happy if they had this, she said to herself. So she started setting aside the toys she no longer needed, so her parents would know which ones to give away. Upon putting the last of the toys in the box to be shared, Estelle surmised that Christ was in the playroom. She then noticed a piece of paper that was hiding under a stuffed animal. Could it be another riddle? She thought. She opened it, and it read, "Where there's shelter from the sun." This won't be easy, Estelle realized.
Shelter from the sun can mean so many things. In the past hour, Estelle searched around their garden, their garage, as well as every window pane around the house, but with no success. She even wanted to check the roof, until her dad told her that Jesus of the Belen was not there. Seemingly defeated, she went to her room and crawled into bed, thinking that she had lost the game. There, she saw her cabinet open, hidden in which are a couple of boxes of used clothes she had already outgrown. It was during Estelle's birthday, early in the year, that she and her mother went to her old clothes, intending to give the small ones to young victims of disasters in the provinces. "This will go perfectly with the toys I've boxed up," she exclaimed with delight. With eagerness, Estelle, with her light build, pulled out the cardboard boxes and stacked them near the door to be put alongside the box of toys. But upon moving the second box, a slip of paper flew out and fell on Estelle's feet. She knew it was another riddle and proceeded to recite another line of the text. "I am where your yearning tames." Estelle felt her stomach rumble. Maybe it's time for a snack in the kitchen after all.
"Mom, can I make a sandwich?" shouted Estelle. "Sure, sweetie," replied her mom, who was cleaning by the couch. She suspected the game ends there in the kitchen, but she was famished and decided a quick meal wouldn't hurt her chances of finding baby Jesus and getting her prize. She opened their pantry cabinet and started going through the choice goods to put in her snack. "My family has more than enough," she thought. Time and again, beggars would knock on their door and ask for food or money. And Estelle's parents had given what they could manage. She was young and blessed, and knew that others were not so fortunate. "Can we give some of these away to the poor, Mom?" Turning to her mother with pleading eyes, and Estelle got a calm nod of approval from her. Smiling, she resumed her rummaging, and found the jar of ube she'd been wanting to eat since a week ago. Jar in hand, she started closing the cabinet door, only to notice a familiar piece of paper taped behind it. She put the ube jar back in its place and peeled the paper off the door. "I have to find him," she swore upon the jar, which she'll leave for later.
"Up above, so you would grin," announced the riddle. Estelle was close to winning the game, but now she faced a formidable challenge. For at 10, she was short and couldn't reach certain areas of the house. See, their family altar was installed quite high on the staircase landing, as she was sure that Belen Jesus slept in peace there. Estelle asked for her dad's help to reach it. "Papa, can you lift me up to check the altar?" And her dad propped her up on his shoulders so she can look through the images that were installed there. Baby Jesus seemed missing though. As Estelle continued to crane her neck, 'to see through the altar's hidden spaces.' Eventually, the leaping through the pamphlet, from which they recite the prayer for the victims of the pandemic. Suddenly, Estelle remembered seeing news of growing numbers of fatalities. From what she now understood was a disease with yet a cure. She then whispered a short prayer for the dead and those in front lines. And upon placing it back in the altar, she caught a slip of paper falling out of the pamphlet's folds. Estelle's dad brought her down, and barely reaching the floor, she hardly opened the riddle in her hand. There among the stars of night, it said. Could he have been there all this time? Estelle blurted out to her dad.
Read the entire riddle again, Estelle, her dad prompted her. She placed the 5 slips of paper right next to each other and read loudly. I am where there's joy and fun, where there's shelter from the sun. I am where your yearning tames, up above so you would crane, there among the stars of night. Estelle remembered something her dad said last Christmas. Your name means star, so we're going to decorate our Christmas tree with stars next year. Estelle thus found herself in the living room, before the tall, green Christmas tree, dotted with lots of twinkling lights and stars. And there, upon careful searching, she pointed out to her parents that instead of a star, the missing infant Jesus of the Belen lay perched atop the tree. Her dad then raised her up, and she carefully took Christ from the treetop and placed him in the manger. Christ is our light, my dear. He shines hope for us in these trying times, her mom remarked. Estelle found Christ, and she won the game. Now, what would you like for your gift, my child? Her dad asked her. She looked upon Christ in the Belen and happily understood the joy of celebrating his birth. Estelle turned to her parents, and without words, they knew what the perfect gift would be in this extraordinary Christmas, the sharing of blessings to all in whom Christ dwells.